Argo is now exposed in the same way that Johnson is exposed, right, for its lack of compliance to the Consolidated Appropriations Act, and employers are being held, are being exposed by what ultimately comes down to, and it appears to be, the malfeasance of larger PBMs in terms of their practices. So that's something I imagine will be top of mind for folks. And the other big news, probably just in the last 2 weeks, which I think you guys have probably heard me reported on, Congressman Comer has indicated to folks that the three CEOs of the largest PBMs in the country, when they testified before the Oversight Committee, lied under oath. And so usually when that occurs before something like an Oversight Committee, right, it holds some legal significance and consequence. We'll see kind of how those issues ferret themselves out. And it's not clear to me yet what specifically the congressman thought might have been misstatements or untruthfulness, by the CEOs. But I think that'll be an interesting, dynamic to set place, and certainly folks are beginning to pay attention to that. I think, look, they're in their early stages in terms of what's been articulated in the claims, but the general narrative that PBMs were responsible for employers overcharging and inflating drug pricing, I think, is something that has been widely known for some time, and now there's been some accountability with it and some responsibility for it, specifically for the employers. So I think the discovery process with that will be really compelling and very interesting. So, and I think you're going to see dozens, if not more so, of those type of lawsuits coming forward in the coming months, I would suspect. You can sort of testify to the fact that large PBMs are passing through 100% of your rebates and dollars back to clients and operating in a so-called transparent model. And literally the next day, at least in the case of one of the largest PBMs, that they settle a lawsuit with the state of Illinois to the tune of $41 to $45 million for not disclosing the rebates that they failed to share with the state of Illinois and their employees that was held over in their offshore GPO. I mean, that just seems to be a pretty good sort of dichotomy, right, and contrast between truthfulness and lack of truthfulness or lack of candor. So we'll see. I would leave it up to sort of smarter lawyers than I am, right, to sort of figure out what the legal merit of those things are. But it doesn't appear that they operated with a measure of candidness that you would expect for folks that are marketing themselves as not only healthcare leaders, but sort of responsible, transparent, forthcoming, responsible corporate citizens.